I don't think none was gonna go down, but I do know NBA YoungBoy was gonna have 1 million GDs with him. And y'all hearing that from me. I know this personally.
Now, the news of NBA YoungBoy canceling his Chicago tour, or his Chicago tour date, I should say, has been going viral, man. And it's got a lot of people speculating about his motives for canceling the show. Now, NBA YoungBoy's management put it on the venue, the United Center. Because, NBA YoungBoy has had a successful tour so far. He's been selling out most of his shows, especially in the Midwest and a lot of the cities that a lot of rappers are scared to go to. It almost seems like the theme of the show at this point. But NBA YoungBoy's Chicago show was supposed to do more than just be a concert, man. It was supposed to show that NBA YoungBoy can perform in the heart of where his ops are from, in the heart of where his industry foes are from, and show that fan base over everything in hip hop and in music. And he had a point to prove, and he had the ability to prove that point. But it all came to an end when the show got canceled, man. So this had people crashing out online. You had fans crashing out. You had his ops crashing out. And now you have people with theories or who say they have some inside information about what led to this show getting canceled. Now, allegedly, NBA YoungBoy had reportedly tapped in with some of the Southside G's ahead of this show at the United Center. And I want to play a video of some of the people and some of the responses of what they say took place. Now, there were rumors that he was going to bring Wooski on stage, that he was going to bring Lil Tim on stage, and that would have really created some chaos because Wooski is obviously one of the biggest ops against Lil Durk and, 600 and all of that, right? Now, and when Wooski would have hit the stage, that would have been something. But if Lil Tim would have hit the stage, the guy who was found guilty or at least was arrested for the shooting death of King Von and shown on camera shooting King Von and allegedly taking his life, man, that would have been a whole nother thing and a whole nother level of disrespect, some say. Now, this might be what led to the United Center canceling the show, but man, let's listen to some of the people out there and see what they had to say. All right, so here we're going to listen to a guy who says he has the inside information on what really went down with NBA YoungBoy and canceling the tour in Chicago.
NBA YoungBoy show been canceled, man, in the city, man. And a lot of people thinking he canceled his show. Shorty did not cancel his show, man. And I knew the police was going to cancel it, man. The police, they didn't got with the dude at the United Center and they canceled that show, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And I don't really think nothing was going to happen, though. And this ain't no slick shot to nobody that's in tour with him or none of that. I don't think nothing was going to happen. For the simple fact, bro, it's the United Center. He was going to come prepared. So much security. You weren't even going to get next to him. Even fans, even people he probably told to come, they probably weren't even going to be able to get next to him. Like, I heard people that was with Durk at the show that was with Durk, and they couldn't even get next to him, and folks told them to come to the show and come back here. Like, they couldn't even get next to him. So the security situation going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be super tight. But I don't think nothing was going to happen. NBA YoungBoy show.
Now, what he said right there, I agree with, man. I think the security would have been too tight to do anything to NBA YoungBoy. And I think that maybe like how he said that the CPD had shut down the show because, there might have been an issue where somebody else could have crashed out and caused harm to somebody who had nothing to do with the show or anything like that, man. That's always a high potential. And they'd rather save a life that night than have the show, which is crazy, I know, for most fans, especially when you think about how much money people are spending to go to these concerts. But a lot of what dude said sounds pretty spot on.
I don't think nothing was going to go down, but I do know NBA YoungBoy was going to have 1 million GDs with him. And y'all hearing that from me. I know this personally. Bro. I know people, and NBA YoungBoy was gonna have a lot of GD blocks from the south side of Chicago with him, bro. And it's me personally telling y'all this, so I'm telling y'all, NBA YoungBoy was gonna have a lot of GD blocks with him at the concert, bro. And like I said, man, I don't believe Shorty canceled that show, bro. He ain't canceled that show. And his manager actually added the dude who canceled it. You feel me? So Yeah, man. I don't think, like I said, wasn't nothing gonna happen, man. He leaves.
Now, what do you think about the fact that, this dude just said that NBA YoungBoy was going to hit the stage with about 1 million GDs? Now, I doubt that because 1 million people can't even fit in the stadium, you know what I'm saying? Or fit in just one section of the city like that. Even though I know Chicago is one of the biggest cities in the world, man, or in the country at least. It's like number 3 in the country. But 1 million, I don't know about 1 million, but maybe 100 or so, 200 GDs show up. I can see that, you know what I mean? And a lot of people says that would have caused a lot of disruption. Now, you got to look at it from the police standpoint. Do they want 100 gang members, known gang members, on the stage with a famous rap star and then have them leave that concert venue with their face out there and stuff? Because the chain reaction to that could lead to some shootings and things that probably would have went down. But, if things are calm and people really ain't got their sights on somebody or thinking about somebody, they probably won't do anything. But that could lead to more violence is what I'm saying.
Even in a bulletproof truck, bro, he got 100 security guards. He got his guys with him. They probably leaving in 10, 20 black Suburban trucks. Man, nobody want to be able to get next to him. I don't think one was going to go down, but I do know I have 1 million GDs with him. Even if you had some paper, you weren't going to even get next to him. You feel me? Like, it wasn't going to happen. You feel me? But, yeah, the police really canceled that show, though, man. Y'all hearing it.
I think that's true also. I think the police canceled that show. And of course, man, you ain't going to be able to just get close to an artist after they've invested all this money at a huge arena. There's so much money that goes into putting on a show that size, man, that the security is tight. They've been doing this years and years, you know what I mean? And there's security looking at security. There's levels of security at big venues like that. You got your floor security. You got all sorts of pit bosses like you would have in a casino. You got levels. And then you've got levels above that of people looking. Then you have the cameras looking. There's so much going on at a venue like that with an event like that. That's why it's cost so much to make it happen. So getting next to NBA YoungBoy and doing something to him was always out of the picture. And I think the police just said forget it, and the United Center said forget it because there was some potential for other people to be harmed.
Here first, the police canceled that, man. They ain't want to take no chances. And them kids was going to be running wild in that bitch. The kids was going to be wild. But yeah, man, NBA YoungBoy was going to have all the GDs with him, man. But yeah, his show was canceled in the city, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking forward to see the turnout, for real, you feel me? I was looking forward to seeing how it was gonna happen, man. But Shorty, man, Shorty ain't scared of too much, bro. I'm telling you, bro. NBA YoungBoy, man, Shorty ain't bagging down from no shit like that, bro. Not no show. You feel me? But that's just real talk.
Now, what that rapper said does coincide with a lot of the things we know about NBA YoungBoy. He's never been the scary type, man. He's always been the type to really be out there in the mix. You've seen him even in L.A. when he went out there. You've seen him in the hood. You saw him in Watts. You saw him in, and there's a lot of people who won't go to L.A. and go to somewhere like Watts. I don't suggest it. Don't ever, if you go to L.A., go to the projects. Like, that's the worst thing you could ever do because, there's only one way in those places, and it's a bad look. But NBA YoungBoy went there, man. He went there with a whole bunch of people. He went different places, man. He moves about, man. He's not scary. So I doubt this was his call. And like he said, man, his management was quick to put the name out there of the guy that they said was the person who called off the show and put a post out there which basically said that, yeah, it wasn't on their behalf. It was because the guy at the United Center didn't want the show to go on, and that they were all for it. Now, him having 100 GDs on the stage is crazy. I think that would be like a slap in the face to those BDs that he's beefing with online or through music, because Lil Durk and them famously BDs, OTF full of a lot of BDs and GDs regardless. But, man, something like that could cause a problem, man, especially if he's putting it in their face. You got King Von fans and family and people who are around there, man. You never know. And especially if he does like he's done in other cities. He brings Lil Tim on stage. He goes ahead and brings Wooski on stage. That could get ugly, man. That could get ugly, especially when you're dealing with the people in the after effects. But, man, basically what that guy is saying, NBA YoungBoy's plan was to bring those GDs on stage. That might have actually led the United Center and the police to put a stop, because I'm sure they did their intel, was trying to see if anybody was trying to do anything, because they do that for regular concerts. I got to make sure that it's safe for people, that nobody's trying to do anything to a large group of people or anything like that, right? So they put out their feelers, and if that was the plan, that NBA YoungBoy was going to bring on stage 100 GDs, all GDs, just to diss his ops and to show that, he gets love in Chicago, that would have been a crazy move on top of that, man. It's a wild situation going on with NBA YoungBoy, and it looks like we'll never see if he could really pack that show in Chicago. But according to all the reports, it was a sold out show. So they refunded people's money. Those people who were going to fly in, I don't know what they're going to do in that situation. And the other part about a show is you have people from outskirts always, like the suburbs, the cities that are right on the cusp or in that metro area or a little outside, who travel, and people throughout the Midwest who probably wanted to travel and see the show, and they missed out on the show too. But for NBA YoungBoy to be as bold as to bring a whole bunch of GDs on stage is wild.